guys. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and hope you are encouraged in your group just studying through this incredible account in Luke chapter 15 about the prodigal son. And we looked at the younger son, we looked at the older son, and this past week with Curtis, we got to look at the heart of the father. And in the father's heart, we see two essential pillars in the gospel. The one pillar is that you're more loved than you could ever imagine. It's incredible. You're not going to out-sin the love of God the Father. You're not going to sin greater than the work of Christ. The truth is, if you think that, that's pride. And there's a lot of people who go, I can't forgive myself. I can't forgive myself for what I did. Guess what? It doesn't matter. God forgives you. And allow what he says to define you, not what you say. It's amazing how many people will trust their own voice of anxiety or fear or depression more than they'll trust the life-giving voice of God. And so you are more loved. You go, but what? It doesn't matter. You're more loved than you could ever realize. The second point is all of us are sinful, and all of us need repentance. And this one offends not the person who goes, how could God love me? Like the first one. This one offends those who go, but I'm good. Like I'm good enough. I don't need a crutch. I don't need religion. What's amazing to me is, as I've thought a lot about this story over the last several weeks, the father's there and he's receiving both his sons. They both have to come through the door into the house. The door into the house for every Christian is repentance. For the younger son, it's repentance. For the older son, it's repentance. There is no reconciliation with God the Father without repentance. And I always love to say, repentance in my mind is just telling the truth about our sin, telling the truth about our failure, and looking honestly that, you know what, we're not as good as we wished we were, and yet we're incredibly loved. And what's amazing to me is these two things come together in the gospel. And what tends to stumble people is one or the other of those pillars. Maybe a good discussion in your group tonight is, for you to become a Christian, was it harder for you to realize you needed repentance, you needed Jesus to die and shed his blood? Or was it harder for you to accept the love of God, to accept that he could forgive you? Hope you guys have a great discussion. I want to make one last announcement. Next Sunday, and I just ask you guys to be praying for this, next Sunday is our first give. We're going to respond as a church. We're going to begin the first initiative. We're going to announce the results. Be praying for us as we tally that information. Be praying that God would move, that it'd be an exciting day, and we could begin to walk in faith together. And so pray you guys have a great discussion. Deeply loved, in need of repentance. Both those things come together in the gospel, and be praying for us as a church as we head into this season.